This time on Woody's Garage, we wreck a perfectly good engine. Geez.
Alright, what we have here is my Bronco mini bike. I patched this thing together, didn't have an engine and stuff, found that it was very difficult to get any kind of engine to mount on there and to work properly, to get a jack shaft and stuff in there. It runs, it's great, but it's only a 3.5 horsepower. So what I'd really like to do is see if I can get this engine in there. It's a 5 horse, it's an HSSK Tecumseh H50. Came off a snowblower. I remember this engine was great. The snowblower was totally rotted out. I couldn't really use it for anything. Got a couple of parts off of it. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the two of them, obviously this is in the foreground, it actually looks smaller than the 3.5 that's mounted. They both have the flywheels that will take an electric start, and those tend to bulge out more than an engine that has a different flywheel and a different shroud cover. But I want to try to measure up side by side and you know, with some kind of calipers to see the width and stuff like that. Now there's some things I don't like too, like this oil changing thing that I don't know, might be a good thing. I don't really know for changing the oil. There's no other place to change the oil. Plus you have this contraption, which I hate. Sure, you could just cut it off and put a rag in there and find out what the capacity of the oil is, and you know, who needs a dipstick? And the carb sits a little bit lower than the other one, and I'm worrying if that's going to hit the jack shaft, because it sits about 3/4 of an inch lower. You see that the exhaust is on the right and the intake is on the left, which is the exact opposite of the other. Okay, we're outside with the HS5, and last time I ran it, it ran really well, but we'll see if we can make a liar out of me. Put a little gas on the hose, on the choke. Don't hear anything in the primer. It's not good. The throttle up. I'm mounted here pretty good. Yeah, runs good. I want to get this bracket off. Let's see. Should be 1/2 inch. Might need the impact. Oh. Yeah, they don't want to turn. Oh. Spray a little oil on them, let them sit for a minute. Put some PB Blaster on them, but I mean, how can it penetrate that? Do it anyway. I think I got him. I know if I put a cheater bar on it, it's going to break. Put a little more lube on it and let it sit. I got a little heat on them. And I think I got them all now. Yeah. Ooh, this was the easiest one to begin with. Ooh. Got some more heat on that one. Coming. Bitch. We'll get them. Actually, we got some really bad news. These are stripped. I hope it's the threads in the bolts. Shit. Perfectly good running engine. You had to screw it up. You could have just cut this thing off. That's the way it goes, right? Okay, 20 minutes later, I snapped this one off. Those two are just spinning. That's how much they've come out. I've been like prying a screwdriver underneath this plate here, trying to get them out without having to drill them out. And I kind of said, like, you know, these other guys aren't going to come out at all either, but they're all loose. It's the metal against the aluminum, I guess, it makes the real corrosion. Now this is aluminum against, well, it's against a steel bolt, but yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. These three suck. Might drill them out, might cut them off. Might still see if I can kind of pry them out. I'm probably destroying the threads even more. I've never tapped a head before, a cylinder, I mean. Maybe I can do that, maybe I can't, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't believe I came out here to do something relaxing. Yeah, well. Now we got a real mess. Well, that one wasn't coming at all. So I figured out maybe I'd get it with vice grip so the head will come off now. So I'd have more to grip on it if I took the head off. This one broke off. It broke off that far in, which might mean I'm in trouble. Let's get the shroud off and the head off and we'll take a look. Gotta get that one too. It's a 7/16. I take that spring off of this. Okay, that screw goes into a stud, which goes into the head. And the muffler didn't feel like it's going to come off. I didn't want to destroy that too, so I just bent the tab up. And hopefully I can get this out. I'll just cut that damn tab off. I'm done screwing around. Yeah, that went well. Holy crap. Really had to pry it off. This was the stickler here. This would not let go. I had to put the screwdriver in between the two, and I hope I didn't destroy the cylinder or the head. Probably not. I don't know, but we still gotta get these out of here. I think that just broke off in the head, what was left. Yeah, it did. Jeez. So oddly enough, this one was comes right out. It was just really stuck in the head. Will these two do the same? I mean, there's still threads in there. All right, I brought the head inside. See if I can knock that piece of bolt out with this drift. That one seems a little too big. Yeah, you can't use a big one. You got to use the one that'll snap off. All right, let's see about this. Gotcha. Gone. And the can you see that? It cleaned up pretty good. I don't see any real, ooh, right there maybe. But the gasket will cover it that far. Can you see that? It's just a little bit screwdrivered. But yeah, I mean, that's half my worries if the thing's gonna get those other bolts out. So the gasket came off pretty good. I got these guys kind of soaking there. You know, they really got to be clean. You got to get rid of that gasket stuff and all the gunk if you can around the base. These aren't totally clean. I'm going to take the wire brush to them in a minute. So that if there's any chance of the penetrating oil going down there, now you give it a chance to get there. One thing I noticed about this really teeny little exhaust valve, and I can wiggle it around, so the valve guide's probably kind of gone. But I mean, this does not look like a 5-horse engine. Maybe it's all in stroke, I don't know. Bore looks good. Alright, I've heated them up a couple of times and lubed them, etc. And they're not really budging. So I think for today, I'm going to let it sit. Let it soak a little bit. Maybe heat it up again. And if I still can't get it with the vice grips, I'm thinking that, you know, there still is some threads on those, so you could thread on a nut and weld them on and see if that'll back it out. But with it all opened up like this, you know, I'm not quite sure if it extends below this. It looks like it does. You can kind of see a hole there. So there could be an open hole on the other side. We got to flip the engine over and let some lube come up from the bottom. Probably is the same thing in front here. So I might try that too. Not sure. All right, it's been a day or so. I've tapped on it with a hammer. I've cleaned everything off. I've oiled it. I've heated it. It ain't budging. So I'm going to try a trick that I've seen on YouTube. Everybody else probably has too. I've never done it before. With my welder, and weld this nut to this stud and see if we can get it out. All right, I'm a real noob with the welding here. I'm using a Harbor Freight Chicago Electric 125 flux welder, and we'll see what we can do. I never see through this damn mask. working like a pro. Like red hot. I had the thing up on max rather than min. You saw the lights go out. We're not really wired here for it. I'm going to let it cool down just a bit, but I still want it to be like the block warm when I try to do this. If you look at my weld, I didn't fill the whole thing up. I'm wondering if I should hit it again. I think I'll try hitting it again, but not on the... see, this welder, the only controls are minimum and maximum, and that was maximum. So let's try minimum. Still doesn't look totally filled up, but we'll try that once it cools a little bit. No. The nut came off. Shit. The bolt looks kind of unscathed. I'm going to try a new nut. Maybe thread it on a little bit deeper and try it again. So that's what we're starting with right there. It's not bottomed out, but little space on the top and the bottom. I think max actually worked better. I'm going to put it back on max so the lights will go out again. Oops. Jumping all over the place here. Yeah, that's a better fill. Get it to go back and forth a little bit. Wow, I think we got it. I'm like stunned. PB in there. Nope, now the nut's broken free. So maybe we didn't get it at all. So yeah, I thought we had something there. Okay, well, I got another nut. For this one. Let's get nutty. Yep, I'm a newbie. Went right through my plastic slipper. Look at that. A little hole right there. Wow. Yeah, baby. Yeah, we're really hoping for the best. I think a breaker bar, else I got this really crappy one. No, that nut's just moving. Damn it. Ah, no luck. Alright, I just gave this one another shot. I tried welding up underneath the nut. So maybe the nut would adhere underneath instead of the top on this one. I didn't burn through my slippers this time. We'll see if we can move this one. Gotta let it cool a little bit. No dice on that one either. I just wire brushed them and put some PP blaster around the base. Oh God, I think I'm gonna have to drill them out. I don't think my welding skills are good enough to get that. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong.